Biomed Nexus Daily updates your essential biotech, medtech, and pharma recap. No noise, just what matters. Executive summary. Last week delivered a regulatory reckoning. The FDA rejected Disc Medicine's bitopertin despite meeting its primary endpoint, issued a refusal to file for Moderna's mRNA flu vaccine, and removed HRT boxed warnings in a signal of the Macquarie FDA era. Meanwhile, BridgeBio's Propel 3 data crushed achondroplasia benchmarks, NovoCure won pancreatic cancer device approval, and Eli Lilly revealed a 1.5B orforglipron stockpile ahead of its April PDUFA. Read more last week in Review Key Events. Moderna RTF. Shock. The FDA issued a refusal to file letter for Moderna's mRNA flu vaccine, mRNA 1010, citing the trial's comparator as insufficient versus the best available standard of care. CBER Director Vinay Prasad personally signed the letter, overruling agency staff. Read more. NIH halts Xarelto arm. The NIH terminated the low-dose rivaroxaban arm of its Captiva stroke trial due to an increase in safety events and evidence of futility. Read more. Samsung Bioepis settlement settled with Regeneron to secure a January 2027 US launch for its Eylea biosimilar, Opuviz. Read more. BridgeBio crushes. Phase 3, Propel 3, delivered plus 2.10 cm/year mean height velocity and so 1.74 cm/year LS, mean P001, for oral infigratinib. Crucially, it showed the first-ever statistically significant improvement in body proportionality in children under 8. Read more. NovoCure FDA approval. Optune Pax, approved for locally advanced pancreatic cancer, the first new device for this indication in 30 years. Read more. FDA de-risks. HRT removed boxed warnings for CV disease, breast cancer, and dementia from 6 menopausal hormone therapies. Commissioner Macquarie. Delivering on our promise to make sure women have accurate, scientifically grounded information. Read more. PTC Translarna. Withdrew its US NDA for Translarna in DMD after FDA indicated data were unlikely to meet the threshold of substantial evidence. Lilly stockpile disclosed 1.5B in pre-launch inventory for oral GLP-1 orforglipron, signaling extreme confidence in the April 10 PDUFA. Disc Medicine, CRL, FDA rejected bitopertin for EPP despite meeting its primary endpoint, 40% PPIX reduction. The agency ruled the surrogate marker was modest and failed to correlate with clinical outcomes. Seres Therapeutics. Reboot announced a 30% workforce reduction and paused lead program SER-155 to pivot toward earlier stage immunology. The microbiome hype cycle has collapsed into survival mode. Ultragenyx restructuring. Announced a 10% workforce reduction, 130 employees, to focus resources on the Angelman syndrome Phase 3 readout. Read more. Week ahead. Feb. 1621. Date company. Cheech event. What to watch. Mon 216 markets closed President's Day. US. 2217 Medtronic. MDT Q3 FY26 earnings. Watch. Simplicity. Renal denervation adoption. 2217 Disc Medicine Investor Call. 8 a.m. ET Re. CRL and Apollo trial strategy. WD218 analog devices. ADI. Healthcare sensor demand as a leading indicator for medtech. THU219 PTC Therapeutics Q4 earnings. Huntington's pipeline focus post-Translarna. SAT221 Vanda PDUFA FDA. A decision on Byzanti for bipolar, I and schizophrenia. Key themes to watch. 1. The Macquarie FDA regime takes shape last week, crystallized the new regulatory philosophy. Deregulatory on HRT labels but stringent on surrogate endpoints. Disc Medicine, Moderna. Rare disease CEOs must now prioritize functional, patient-centered primary endpoints over purely biochemical ones. Read more. 2. The oral GLP-1 race accelerates. Eli Lilly's 1.5B inventory build signals extreme confidence in orforglipron's April 10th approval. With Novo Nordisk's Wegovy pill already tracking 26,000 plus prescriptions in its second week, the oral obesity market is heating up fast. Raidmore 3, the dwarfism switch, trade BridgeBio's Propel 3, data positions oral infigratinib as a potential best-in-class therapy. BioMarine's Voxzogo and Ascendis's Transcon CNP, PDUFA Feb 28, now face competitive repricing pressure. Watch for patient rotation dynamics as BridgeBio targets a 2H 2026 NDA filing. Read More Biomed Nexus Pro, Institutional Intelligence Brief, The Prasad Signal, Why Portfolios Are Being Marked Down 25%. The Moderna RTF wasn't just a rejection, it was a regime change. CBR Director Vinay Prasad personally overruled staff to sign the letter. This signals the end of the surrogate era. Institutional desks are now aggressively rescreening portfolios for surrogate-dependent assets. We identified 3 biomarker-only programs that are now structurally mispriced. In today's Pro Brief, the 1.5B inventory, Gamble, Eli Lilly has stockpiled 1.5B of orforglipron ahead of the April PDUFA. If the Prasad precedent holds, the write-down triggers a pro-users-only % correction. BridgeBio vs. the Street. Analysts are modeling a 40% switch rate from Voxzogo. We checked the math on treatment-naive patients and found the real upside is pro-users-only. The Macari Alpha. The FDA just quietly removed boxed warnings for HRT. We break down the 2 direct beneficiaries poised for a DTC spending spree. Upgrade to unlock RID, full article.